This is WASSCE 2011 paper 1 November-December objectives. The first question is find the simple interest on 680 Ghana cedis at 5% per annum for 4 years. We know the simple interest formula, which is given by I is equal to principal times rate times time. So let's do the substitution. We have the principal, which is 680 Ghana cedis times the rate, which is 5% or 5 out of 100, times the number of years, which is time, and it is equal to 4 years. We can now simplify. This is the same as Ghana cedis 680 Ghana cedis times 0.2. 680 Ghana cedis times 0.2. So if we evaluate this, we will obtain 136 Ghana cedis. Therefore, the correct answer is the first choice. The question for question 2, we have Grace and Mary shared 875.08 cedis in the ratio 3:2 respectively. If Mary shared her part of the money to her daughters AC and Afi in the ratio 1:2, how much was Afi's share? We will use the first ratio given to calculate Mary's share. So the ratio was given as 3:2. So we will have to use the ratio that corresponds to Mary to calculate Mary's share. Therefore, Mary's share will be equal to Mary's ratio, which is 2, over the total ratio, which is 3 plus 2, and that will give us 5, times the amount which is shared, and that is equal to 875.08. Now, using our calculator, we simplify this to obtain. This will give us 350, 350.032. Now we need to use the second ratio because Mary shared her part of the money to her daughters AC and Afi in the ratio 1:2. So Afi's share will correspond to Afi's ratio over the total ratio times Mary's share. So Afi's share will now be equal to Afi's ratio, which is 2, over the total ratio, which is 3, times 350.032. So we again need to use our calculator over here, and this will simplify to 233.35 Ghana cedis. 233.35 Ghana cedis. So the correct answer is option C. We want to find the next number in the sequence 2, 5, 10, 17. So for the first term, we added 3 and we had 5. So we want to examine a pattern. to see if we can get the next term. And we added another 5 to 5 to get the next term, which is 10. Then we added again, this time we add 7 to get 17. So we can examine to see that we are adding the odd numbers. The next number will be plus 9, and 9 plus 17 will give us 26. So the correct answer is option C. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 4. Multiply 3.5 times 10 exponent negative 6 by 4.2 times 10 exponent 4 and give your answer in the standard form. We need to recall the definition for standard form. So when we are writing in standard form, then we are writing the number in the form k times 10 exponent n, such that k is greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. So let us first of all multiply 3.5 by 4.2. Then we multiply the 10, the numbers to be 10, or the powers of 10. So we have 10 exponent 4 times 10 exponent negative 6. Now let's simplify. When you multiply 3.5 by 4.2, you get 14.7 times 10 exponent negative 2, because 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Then now we move the decimal point back and multiply by 10 exponent 1, then by 10 exponent negative 2. We now add the exponent again, so 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So that will give us 1.47 times 10 exponent negative 1, which is the option B. Now we have the question 5. We are simplifying 15 over root 50. 15 over root 50. So we know 50 is the same as 25 times 2. So 25 is the perfect square there. So this will give us 15 over square root of 25 is 5, and square root of 2 is root 2. Now this will cancel out to get 3 over root 2. Now we need to rationalize. We need to rationalize by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by root 2. So this will give us 3 root 2 over 2, because root 2 times root 2 will give us 2. And we can rewrite this as 3 over 2 root 2. So we can see that the correct answer is option C. Now we've come to question 6. From the sale of a landed property, an estate surveyor made a profit of 25%. If the profit is 12,500 Ghana cedis, calculate the cost price of the landed property. We want to find the cost price. Since we don't know the cost price, we can let X represent the cost price. So 25% of this cost price will give us 12,500, which is the profit. So 25 over 100 times X will be equal to the 12,500 Ghana cedis, which is the profit the person made. That's the surveyor, the estate surveyor made. So we need to multiply both sides by 100 over 25 so that we make x the subject. So we will get 12,500 times the reciprocal of 25 over 100, which is 100 over 25. Then we can now do the cancellations to get 500 times 100, and that will give us the cost price. That will give us the cost price to be equal to 500 times 100, which is 50,000 Ghana cedis. Therefore, the cost price is option D. There are 36 students in a class. Each student offers at least one of geography or commerce. If 30 students offer geography and 26 offer commerce, how many students offer commerce only? This is how we can represent the given information on a Venn diagram. And we know that the total elements in a set must add up to the universal set, which is 36. So we have 30 minus x plus x plus 26 minus x to be equal to 36. So we need to just simplify this and solve the equation for x. So 30 plus 26 will give us 56. Then negative x plus x will become 0. Then we are left with minus x. And that the whole thing will give us 36. So x will now be equal to 56 minus 36. And that will give us 20 for the x. But the question is asking for commerce only, this region. So that will give us 26 minus 20, which is equal to 6. Therefore, the correct answer is 6, which is option A. We now have question 8. Factorize 25a squared minus 4. So when you factorize, what is the result? We are going to use the difference of two squares factorization. So the 8, we are factorizing this. So 25a squared can be rewritten as 5a all squared, because 5a all squared is equal to 25a squared. Then the 4 can also be written as 2 squared. So this is difference of two squares, like x squared minus y squared, and that will be equal to x plus y, x minus y. So this one will also be equal to 5a plus 2 into 5a minus 2. 5a plus 2 into 5a minus 2. But we know that multiplication is commutative. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. We have question 9 here. Given that PS equal half m into bracket v squared minus u squared, bracket close. Evaluate P correct to 2 decimal places when v equal 3.7, u equal 2.3, m equal 0.05, and s equal 0.07. So this is just a matter of substitution. So let's do the substitution and solve for P. With this question 9, we just have to do some substitution and solve for P. So we're given the values already. So for question 9, substitute for S, which is 0.07 will be equal to half times M, but the M is 0.05. So we put it there, 0.05. Then all into bracket V squared minus U squared. So the V is 3.7. So we get 3.7 squared minus U squared, which is 2.3 squared. Now we need to evaluate to get 0.07 P. 0.07 P is equal to, so all this will give us from calculator, all this will give us 0.21. Now let's divide both sides by 0.07. So we'll get 0.21 divided by 0.07, and that will give us 3.00. So the correct answer is C. Now we've come to the 10th question. By how much is the sum of 3x, 6x minus 5, 9x, and 4x plus 1 less than 30x? So that is just telling us that we just have to add all these. Then we take them from 30x. So let's do that. So for the question 10, we add all the expressions and subtract it from 30x. So that will give us 30x minus the sum of 3x and 6x minus 5, then we also have 9x, and we add it to 4x plus 1. 4x plus 1. So we now have to simplify all these algebraic expression. So that will give us 30x. Then we have 3x plus 6x plus 9x plus 4x to be equal to 22x. Then minus 5 plus 4, minus 5 plus 1 will give us minus 4. So now we simplify this to get, so this is 30x. This will simplify to 30x minus 22x plus 4, and this will simplify to 8x plus 4. 8x plus 4. So the correct answer is C.